Hello and welcome. It is 10:30 on a Wednesday night, and it is time for Untold Chronicles The Dredges. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you have been hanging out with us playing or watching the Magic the Gathering, thank you very much. Earlier we had a marvellous time with that, but we really appreciate you hanging out with us now at this late hour. Um, As always, very fast but very important hellos, welcomes, and thank yous. So we kind of rush through it because we've only got an hour and a half to get the session done. But it is important to send out all of the love to you in chat and you as players. So a big hello to everybody in chat. And a big thank you for joining us. A big thank you for joining us if you are watching on catch up, either on YouTube or on Twitch VOD. We really appreciate all the support that you give us. Thank you very, very much. Let us know what you think. Not particularly now, but in the comment sections on YouTube, so we can push things forward and improve. Um, so. Um, there are ways that you in chat can get involved. If you have a Twitch subscription, you can donate a HAP, a heroic action point, to our players or myself. That fundamentally gives them a D20 reroll. There's lots of information in Discord on all of the things you can do to help us out and to get HAP for players, including things like retweeting our Twitters. Um, so thank you very much. We need to say a very big thank you as well to Hero Forge. We do this every night. I'm just calling it up. As many of the character images are designed using Hero Forge, a wonderful way to create your own custom miniatures and get them 3D printed. You can find them at www.heroforge.com. Please note that anything mentioned on the stream may not represent the view or beliefs of Hero Forge, a Sky Castle Studios LLC product. And I say this all the time. It's an amazing resource, a fantastic way to get your custom miniatures and to use them as tokens like this as well. You can either purchase them from them, or you can buy the design and get someone else to 3D print it if you prefer. And they've been very generous to allow us to use images that we have created, both NPCs and characters. So a big thank you to them as well. Last but definitely not least, we have to say a big thank you to our players, due to the fact that without them we would not have a game. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, plug anything that they're doing at the moment. Starting with you, Jorkle, please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Jorkal Fallrender. I am a Beastide, and I playing just for funs. Hoping to have a great night.
Excellent. Welcome back again. And thank you very much for sorting out your audio situation. We really appreciate it. Absolutely 100%. Then moving across, Minnie. Introduce yourself, please. You might be on mute at the moment.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name's my name is Insomnia Without Life, but also known as Josephine. I'm playing Minnie, a rogue tabaxi, which is also an arcane trickster. So she had like some magic up her sleeve, and being as sneaky as a cat as usual. Well, that's what tabaxi do.
And I love the name as well. Minute to Midnight, or Minnie. Very clever name.
Yeah.
Very cool. Then we move across to David.
Hello, I'm Jerry. I go by Websales on Twitch and Discord and all that, and I am playing David, the Halfling Life Cleric.
Very nice. Welcome back, buddy. It's good to have you at the table again. And then
Good stuff.
the only time that DeFago gets to speak properly during this session. Welcome, DeFago. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, and it isn't even DeFago speaking. It's his,
It is.
it's his alter ego, Michael, who is Michael the Grey on various online stuff. And as Andy said, I'll be playing DeFago, who's a ranger and a Kenku today.
Okay. And we move swiftly on to Pectinus.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'll be playing Pectinus, halfling knowledge cleric.
Excellent stuff. And we are down one player tonight. Clyde unfortunately cannot make it as he is family commitments, which real life is always more important, and we wish him well. He will be back, fingers crossed, next session.
Well, on
Okay.
the upside, we have only one rogue, so I don't have any more competition for now.
Oh wow.
On the upside.
Okay. I mean, potentially.
As long as my sneak rolls don't go bad,
Yeah,
you could have two of them.
potentially no competition. That said, we will see. Who knows what is going to happen over the next hour and a half. Okay, so last session, which was a month ago because I had my second COVID vaccination and it knocked me for 6 on the Wednesday night, so we unfortunately couldn't run it. But we can remember you rescued or freed or encountered Jorkle in the Boyd's safe house. Rapidly, he became freed. You gathered together items of potential value, including the person who was in control of the Boyds. You decided to head back to Wintergrim, to his safe house, and to the family that you had rescued from Hope. And you managed to get there. Wintergrim introduced you in. And you managed to get a scant rest, not a huge rest, as it looks very much by the party sheet that you hadn't fully had a full rest as yet. I think you're about to do that now. But it seems that emotions were a little bit inflamed as Jorkil dragged out his captor and started roughing her up in a particularly nasty and violent way, to the shock of all of you. And a very intense moment had happened. It has now passed, though, and you find yourselves again under the hospitality of Wintergrim. We'll just zoom into this forest here, and this is where you find yourself trying to decide what your next movements are going to be, and hopefully getting that very much needed long rest. Okay, so feel free, this is as we open the scene. Please describe what you are doing and what your intentions are.
So I think at the end of the last session, I was setting up that Pectinus is ritually casting Detect Magic just to establish if any of the things we picked up in Boyd's weird Storyteller thing are of any interest magically speaking.
Okay. So I need to have a quick look at who picked what up. Are they all on your character sheet, Pectinus, or?
So I checked the messages that were flying around at the end of the last session.
Yep.
I believe Fargo has a spear of some sort.
Okay.
What might be worth looking at?
Just give me a moment, because we'll do all these one at a time. I can still see that that's Dorvid, but Dorvid's still got Wintergrim's nuts in his pouch, which is good. So a refined spear, most definitely magical, yes.
Excellent. There's also, I believe, David has a refined club.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
let us have a quick look at that. Refined club. It's a shame they don't do this in alphabetical order. Yes, that indeed is also magical.
And Pectinus is carrying some strange scale mail armor.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that isn't magical.
Okay.
But as you are kind of trying to identify it and examine it, can you give me a nature roll, please?
Certainly.
Yeah, paranoid. I do like the thing. I do like what you said. A refined club in chat there. Sorry, I'm talking to the thing. Okay, so yeah, you're aware it's not magical. It's this kind of thing that lies half between magic and mundane. It's actually a suit that has been laced with adamantine. So it is actually a suit of adamantine, which means it doesn't give you any magical protection, but it prevents critical hits.
Impressive.
Yeah,
Well,
very nice.
I think Pectinus will be swapping his regular scale mail out for that then in the future.
Yeah, you can do. I'm going to identify that for you now because you have done that. So there you go.
Great.
Given
Thank
the
you very much.
time, yeah, given the time to examine it, and with that 20 d20 20 roll, absolutely, you do recognise the strange metal that's in there.
Great.
So I don't know if anybody's got the ability to identify things, but you
Not
certainly know
until
that.
we get a few more gold.
Okay, and you need a pearl, yes.
I would like to
Yes.
investigate my mirror.
Okay, so you get out the mirror and you start looking at the mirror. Just looking at it on your character sheet, a small mirror set in painted wood. Give me an investigation roll. Um,
11.
as you take it out, your detect magic flares up again, Pectinus,
Okay.
as you see that the mirror is actually magical as well.
I share that information.
Yeah.
Oh,
The mirror is it's kind of small, maybe sort of just trying to work it out really. I actually have a ruler here for this purpose, for someone who doesn't know. It's a good sort of 6 inches across in diameter, not radius, so it is relatively small, and it has a handle. The handle is not ornate. It is wood, but it is carved, and with your investigation, as you kind of look at it, you kind of see that there are kind of ethereal sort of figures carved into the wood that support the mirror in its holding.
does this figure look benevolent or they look malicious?
So, give us a religion roll.
All right. Where is it? Ah, religion is a intelligence.
Yeah, no, it's good. You think it's fairly neutral. You're not getting a bad feeling about this, but you're not getting a good feeling either. Um, it's kind of
Remember,
very
you had
much.
2 clerics in the party.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's very much a thing that kind of looking like at a Ouija board. It's got that feel to it, that sense to it.
I would like to inquire Pectinus about this particular mirror. Just like wanna ask like what his thoughts on it. Like, cause apparently I'm not that good in detecting magic, but he was able to. So
Wow, well, all he can say is that the magic involved in the mirror with detect magic is necrotic.
okay, now that is a danger.
Do we
Oh, dear.
know which language it's written in?
There's no language. It's just
Oh.
the magic. It's like figures of spirits carved into the frame.
Okay. I mean, it's gonna. She's going to just
Interesting.
like play around. Is there a source of light within that place? A
Is
beam
there,
of light.
sorry, is there a what?
Is there still sunlight out there?
Sunlight. It's late. It probably got about 3 hours till the sun actually comes up. You're all very tired now.
Minnie would like to just walk out a little bit. I mean, just stand outside, not too far, just to she want to test the mirror, see if it can bounce off light. She want to test if it can be used for just in case.
It seems to function just like a mirror. You can see your reflection in it. It catches light. It looks like a normal mirror.
Satisfied, Minnie's gonna stow away the mirror. Although she probably going to like just have to just to remember that the mirror is possibly necrotic, so have to be careful with it.
It's not possible. It is definitely, according to Pectinus's.
I mean, definitely, but as in, we're not sure what it will do. So for now, she will treat it as with caution, but will not just chuck it outright because it's still useful.
Yeah, so where do you keep it? I need to know.
Uh somewhere very deep. Like it won't be that easy to get.
Okay, so you bury it deep in your bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
just in.
And while she's doing that, and as I see all these items getting passed around, things getting said back and forth, and while Pectinus still has that detect magic, I'm just going to just spin my hands, and my short sword will appear in a light green little pop and burst in my hands. And I'm just gonna sit there and just slowly and silently look at it, look at my blade.
Mm. And the blade, just so you know, Pectinus is most definitely magical as well.
Pectinus actually senses two forms of magic coming from it because of this blade. So he cannot determine the source of the magic.
Okay.
Just to be specific.
Mm.
Ooh, interesting.
Mysterious.
Okay. Assuming there's nothing else anyone wants him to look at, Pectinus is going to go to sleep.
Yeah, you all really need to get some shut eye, as they say up in the dredges, due to the fact that if you don't, you're going to start suffering levels of exhaustion. You can, if you want, take watches, but Wintergrim assures you that there is nothing to worry about. So, do you want to put watches on, or are you going to trust in Wintergrim's hospitality? I'll
Well,
assume,
Defago's sleeping
yeah.
through.
I'll
Yeah,
assume you've
good.
all just fallen asleep then, by the sounds of it, because nobody's saying anything.
So deep into the role
I
playing there.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
and Minnie's gonna be somewhat alert. Like she can never really fall completely asleep because her training and such. But
Uh,
it's like how to say, like she only sleeps light, like
yeah.
she can be alert, but yeah, she's still technically resting.
You need, as a tabaxi, to have 8 hours sleep. Otherwise, you will suffer a level of exhaustion. You are not an elf who can trance.
I mean, it's not a trance. It's how do I say it? Like she cannot fall into deep sleep, but
So
Oh,
what?
she
she's a light
you know that
sleeper.
habit
Yeah,
of like
you were a light
She's a light
sleeper,
sleeper.
light
but
sleeper
do you want
Draw
to
call.
sleep or do
sleep.
you want to stay awake, Minnie?
Sleep until just the minimum amount of time required for a long rest. Then she's going to like wake up
Okay.
because you know.
Well, let us see how that pans out for you. Can give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's almost like you, and you're going to like this reference. You've set an alarm clock, and your body clock works perfectly. You fall asleep, you get some good rest, and just like your name, a minute to midnight, you wake up exactly after 8 hours, refreshed, as do you all. And I will give you the benefits of a long rest now. There we go. You do still have, I believe, Belinda Buck captured. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so she has started coming into consciousness and she has had the benefits of a long rest as well. She is bound and she is badly wounded. Um, what would you like to do? Do you want to question her more? What do you wish to achieve as you arrive? Out of your slumber, Wintergrim is busily offering you bowls of some kind of looks like muesli. It's kind of got milk on, but it tastes fermented. It's an acquired taste, but it is obviously very nutritious.
Min is gonna try to like avoid the milk parts because apparently tabaxir are lactose intolerant.
Okay, I'm not quite sure where you
Eh.
got that from, but
Eh.
if you want to
As
say
soon
that
as
Minnie is lactose intolerant, that is absolutely fine.
Yes, unfortunately. That's why she
wait,
always
what?
likes her tea without milk.
I never knew anybody that likes tea and milk together. I think it's I think it's coffee and milk. But with Winter Graham starting to give everybody bowls of food, I will. You'll hear a little bit of a growl, and then you'll see the blade as my eyes open and I stand up and just start stretching. Ugh. Huh. Not really the best night's sleep, but definitely better than some. Oh, breakfast.
He passes you a small wooden bowl.
I can fit the entire bowl in the palm of my hand and nearly wrap my hand around it.
So,
It's unique.
Wintergrim says it has been fun entertaining you all, but you will need to at some point make decisions about your futures. I've thought long and hard about it, and especially about the family here. It is up to you what you intend to do, but I am aware that deeper in the woods there is an old abandoned ranger's cabin. It might make a very suitable home for these two here. But if you have other ideas, then that is fine too.
How long a travel would you say to this cabin, Wintergrim?
I mean, I have not really kept an eye on it for a while, but it is less than a day, and I guess if you have other businesses to attend to, I've grown quite fond of the mother and child. I can ensure that they are looked after.
No, I think it's a good idea to take them there. I was just mostly concerned about staying too close to Hope.
It is deep in the woods, so it's surprising how thick the woods grow the deeper you go. And there are things in the woods that sometimes do not take kindly to intruders.
It's a risk, but it also offers additional layers of protection. Well, I have
Defargo
no.
will point at the food and then at the family, the mother and child,
Mhm.
and then point outside in a circling motion and then make a shrug of his shoulders.
Is that is that referring to how they're going to find food?
Hell yeah.
That could be a bad idea. That could not. That could be a problem in and of itself.
You'd be surprised. The winter forest provides, if you know where to look.
All honesty, I do not know these woods. I was morely sent out to the western woods during my what do you call it? Exile, or more they call it escape. But before I was captured. But I do not know. I do not know.
Perhaps this is a good temporary measure, at least, while we investigate the possibility of housing them in paradise.
Perhaps, or if you wish, you can take them to paradise. I wasn't particularly certain what your plans were. Do not feel you need to use this cabin if you are just heading to paradise.
Which
Unless
direction is the cabin?
The cabin is towards Devil's Lake, deeper
Okay.
into the woods, further away to the north east of Hope.
Is the mum and her son in with us?
Yeah,
Are they
yeah,
up?
they're up and they've been given food.
Defago will shrug at the mum and say, all in or fold?
She says, to have our own home, a place of safety would be good. It is difficult to say. Paradise, I've heard very much, is just another Hope. Paradise is the same, just with different faces. Whilst it'd be nice to be close to people, it would also nice to be away from civilizations such as this. If this friend, this Wintergrim here, is certain that we can survive there, then I think it might be the better of options. But you have all helped me, so I am happy to do what you think is best.
um, I'm just curious though. What are we supposed to do with this one point and I mini points to Belinda?
I have a few ideas for that one, but
I mean,
they're last resorts.
to be honest, because I'm kind of new here, don't really know what really much. I'm still kind of grasping it in a way. I mean, all I gather is that we need to interrogate, ask her questions. So maybe we should use the cabin first. That's my suggestion.
Yes, I mean, I was thinking we might want to question her before we leave, just in case anything happens on the road and we lose track of her.
Oh, we won't lose track of it. I won't.
Are you
I
sure,
won't let that
sure about that?
happen.
I mean, do
Let's
not
just
never
say
underestimate
that.
your enemy. You never know if she had something, just
Let's
a
just say
person.
that anything she does, I can counter it with deadly efficiency.
Unless she outsmarts you somehow. Careful.
I was in fact alluding to an extent to your deadly efficiency, Jorkal, and the risk of us not being able to ask any questions at the other end.
That is why I recommended it as a last resort.
You do remind me of someone, but oh well.
Have you sort of gagged her, or can she talk?
See you guys.
I think she's gagged for the time being, so as
Right.
not to disrupt sleep, but we
Okay.
can certainly
So
remove that.
she at the moment she can't respond to anything that you are sort of saying. So she just kind of glares at you all, really.
I walk over to her, and 5 feet from her, I plant my sword into the stone earth, and I just lean down, and I get nice and close, and I say, "Now look, darling. I know we have difference of opinion. If you fail to answer these questions honorably,
May
you
I
know
point?
what I can do, don't you?"
Can you save that
And I'll
for
just get up.
later?
I'll just get up, and I will walk back to where I was sleeping, and I'll just sit back down and just keep a good old little eye on her.
Minnie is going to say to Jorkal, you might want to keep that bottled up first, because Wintergrim would probably not approve that, and I would rather not get in the bad side of,
Oh no, but you misunderstand. I meant nothing of any harm. She just knows my abilities. I'm just reminding her of that point. And you'll see, Minnie, that my eyes that used to be green with black slits are now reversed.
Minnie
But only
will.
for a moment. But only for a moment. And as they go back, I'll just go back to just lying down and sitting there with that little bowl of soup in my hands.
Minnie's ears will give a tiny twitch that she show that she's a little shocked, but then she's gonna be like very intrigued instead.
Defago looks bored and will go over to Pectinus and motion for him to go and talk to our captive. Since I can't spot Dorvid at the moment
No.
in the chat, so get Pectinus to go over, since he's the only one left besides Defago, who was actually there at the start and
Dude,
can actually talk.
Dorvid actually just ran out of everything. He's gone from FGU, he's gone from Discord, he's gone from everything. He just went.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
had to restart his computer.
Yeah. He's put a
that's
thing in
understandable.
chat to say that his
I don't see it, so
yeah,
I
it's
will
just in
just.
the
To be
Discord chat.
honest,
There it is.
I mean
There it
updates
is.
do take long. Some updates do take long, so give it a
Anyway,
Dorvid is still asleep. Dorvid's still sleeping.
Pectinus.
Hey, I guess Pectinus is going to talk to this guy. Definitely the charismatic choice. So before he starts, Pectinus is going to just walk over and cast a quick spell. And he just looks there and says, "Just to be sure, you understand."
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I can be really charming if I want to. And you'll see. I'm also going to be doing one of those as well. I'm also going to be throwing in a spell of my own. So I can't find it. I don't like this. There it is.
Okay. So the charm person coming from you is going to be problematic because she does not like you. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so she's going to make a saving throw.
And as this happens, Minnie's is just gonna like just groom herself a bit, just like because she's going to like wanna get herself tidy up before the main fun begins because she knows something's coming up from whatever Jorkal is trying to do.
Okay, so she's going to attempt to make this saving throw. Oops. Boom, boom, boom. She fails it, which is very
Oh,
good.
pity.
I'm charismatic when I want to be. I'm just very straightforward. That's all.
It kind of washes over, and it's like almost Stockholm syndrome, where she sort of looks at you and says, I mean, are you going to take the gag off her?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So she says, look, please don't hurt me anymore. I can be useful to you.
That's not
now,
for me to
now
defend.
we are
That's
getting with
not what's
something.
Now, why don't you answer my questions honestly, darling, and we'll see how useful you are. You'll listen to this man's questions, and you'll answer as honest as you can. And we all know the consequences for liars, don't we? I'm going to try to persuade her to answer honestly.
Give me a
Can I do
persuasion
that?
roll.
Oh,
She
That was a
says,
17?
by the way,
Nice.
at this moment, Minnie's gonna saunter over and provide assistance if needed to with anything that requires, some smooth talking.
yeah, you're all around her now, crowding her. She's got a broken leg. She's in a circle of zone of truth, and you have cast charm person upon her. She says, look, please, I don't want any more of this. What is it that you need to know? You have, and I mean this not as a threat, but it is important that you understand. Yes, it is really important that you understand what you have done. You have thrown a boulder into a lake, and the ripples now move the surface, and it was a big boulder, and the waves are going to cause harm to people.
Well, those waves were coming from a mile away. So,
Hey, Andy.
it came years ago. So,
Yes, Pectinus, you were going to say something?
She does get to try and save against the zone of truth as well.
Yeah, she failed. I rolled a 5 basically. It should have been a charisma save, but so yeah, she rolled really badly. She rolled a 5 on that. Then she rolled with advantage against the charm person. She rolled a 2 and dropped that and kept the 3. So it was not
Oh.
her. It was not her time.
Do
This
I have to make a save against Zone of Truth as well? Since I'm
I
also in
think
it?
everyone is within the zone of truth if they're
Yeah.
crowding anyone
I-
that's close to her.
Wait, what's the save again? Is it the charisma
Yeah,
save?
what's
Tis a-
DC save?
Save.
DC 13. Yeah, DC 13.
Yeah,
So
13. So
effectiveness.
Ooh,
Uh,
no effect.
Hectorness is telling the truth. Brilliant. The clerics are telling the truth.
Quite right too.
Jorkal, you don't know. You don't know about Jorkal. He could be. Probably is.
I'm not sure. You would have to double check on the spell to see whether you're aware of fails or successes. I think it's very specific. But anyway, you know that the spell has definitely settled in with her.
Yeah, it says you know whether each creature succeeds or fails. So
Exactly.
I am. I have.
You have clarity. You have clarity.
Clarity the cleric. Clarity the cleric.
So she said that
So she's warned us about our meddling.
what can I tell you? Mayor Boyd is part of something bigger, a cult of sorts.
Ooh, tell us more.
Yes, that's actually exactly
And
what we want to know about.
Cult of
Is
it-
Swords. Oh, do
that makes
tell.
it a lot more sense. And the blade pops in a little green light, and I just hold it in front of her. Is this one of them? Because I know he was really mad when this was taken.
What
All
do
those
you?
ripples and waves. Let's just say that he made a mistake when he let me in his private abode for personal torture. I was able to snag this before getting on my way out, so it has some significance. It was, well, in my opinion, a good snag from him. Personal armory from his personal area. So, but it disappears as I throw it into the air. Who knows? I don't know what it does. I know it can at least do some magic, but that's not for me to know. I don't know specifically.
She nods
So
and smiles at you. Thank you,
I
she
just
says. That's very generous of you.
Is
I
this
just go.
Is there anything
I just
else
go
you want
dead
to
face.
tell me?
does this cult have anything to do with this? And I'll show her the alabaster mask.
Yes, it does. It hails from the smoke. It is rife there. The men of influence and power are involved. Up here, it is slightly different. A small inner circle with Mayor Boyd at the centre, controlling. In truth, I believe that the only reason why they let Mayor Boyd in is that there is something here, something important here in the dredges that they want.
I have
And
no
they
idea what it is.
need people up here.
I'm gonna lean down and just kind of squat next to her, about a foot from her. Does this have to do with anything of the Farlander Transport Company?
No,
I'm going to ask her. Any idea what they are specifically looking for?
I am not a cult member, no. At all. I know that they call them the Sapient Society. Beyond that, that is all I know.
Any
Who else?
other?
Who else is a cult member in town? Do you know?
No, I'm afraid not. I was handling his operations for, well, extortion and the like. Not pleasant work, but it pays well.
Oh,
Do you
this
have any
could
idea?
be of use to me.
Wait, do you
Tell
have
me.
any idea of? Oh, you go on
No,
first.
no, you please go ahead. I
Ah,
have all the time in the world to get my answers.
ah.
Oh,
Do you have
probably.
do you have any idea of other who else could be the other cult members?
I've already said no. There are not many, but the ones that they are, I don't believe are in hope. There is a network of influential people within the dredges in all of the settlements. It is
Like
there you will
priestess.
have to hunt down.
So, like, say, priestess Evangel Duranger? Maybe, perhaps?
I've never heard of them. No,
You've never heard of her?
no.
My, how? How embarrassing.
Who is she?
Sitting right under. Oh, and I just start laughing.
As he was laughing,
I don't
Minas.
think you understand. There's been a whole operation under your noses the entire time, and you never knew?
It is going to
Even the
look
mayor
strangely.
knew. Even the mayor knew. Oh, but he had to tell not. Oh, oh, darling, there are so many things you do not know.
Like I say, I am a small cog in a much bigger machine.
But an important one if the mayor himself sends you to go do his very dirty work. Which brings me on to my next question. You say you have information about all of his less than clean methods of persuasion. Maybe perhaps you'd be inclined to relieve that information to me?
Now, why would I do that?
Oh, come on. You know that you are in no position to make demands and threats, even if they're only half hearted.
Have I
Darling, please,
made?
I do not wish to make this any harder than it needs to be.
Believe me, you know what he can do, right? Like he was so close to, well, beating you up. I mean, personally, I don't want to
Uh,
get into this guy's bad side.
Defago is going to take the mum and her son outside.
yes, it would probably be best.
He then does a
Now,
mocking version of your terribly scary laugh as he goes out.
I like him. You see, that's what happens when people make friends with me. They do that. Now,
As he leaves. But you,
I am compelled to tell the
understandable.
truth, and I don't think
Understandable.
he's your friend.
Oh, but it's a work in progress, darling. It's a work in
And
progress.
I am compelled to tell the truth, and the truth is that, well, there is a lot of information to be had, more than simple conversations. And even if you had the information, it would be difficult for you to use it efficiently. If you are interested in dismantling Mayor Boyd's operation and perhaps seizing it for yourself, then I am certainly best placed to help you with that.
I don't think you
Oh no,
understand. I don't think you understand. I don't want to dismantle or take over.
Mina's gonna
That
give a look
man,
to Pectinus at this mention. Like she's going to give
that
slightly
man.
worried look, like she's thinking like something is going on, like she's playing at something. Do not trust her.
Hmm.
That look.
You think I would trust something like this? Some being that for their own safety will sell out an entire cult and city of devils and liars? No. I already knew as soon as that mayor ordered me and my family's execution. I knew that thing was going to be taken down. No, I'm more interested in the families, the major businesses, all their dirty dealings. Because think about what would happen if that information, say special bribes, moves against other families, abductions. Think about it. And I'll turn to the others. Think about what would happen. Think about what would
I think
would
everybody's actually
become of this.
left. There is
Oh,
only minute to midnight with you.
oh,
Pectinus is still in there at the
All right.
moment because he,
well,
at some point, expects we should learn some information from this woman.
yes. I guess it's just the rambling of a man that has a lot to get off his chest.
Yeah,
And I'll
but
just
you
look back at that woman. Pathetic. And I'll just walk out with the rest of them.
okay.
Strange. I
I'll-
felt
I'll
some
flop my
kind
down.
of connection with him a moment ago, and now he's not my friend. Is that?
You need.
I'll be honest. I'm not entirely sure he's anyone's friend at the moment. He's
Was he supposed to be interrogating me? Because he's told
just say that
me.
and shut
Minnie is just going to give her a look, right? Just
I mean,
try to not
he's
think
told
about.
me his terrible, tragic story, most of which I didn't know.
I'll be honest with you,
I
Belinda. I think
thought
I'm
it.
supposed to be interrogating you.
All right. Well, I mean, you could
apologise.
probably do a much better job because I'm sure you're not going to tell me all of your secrets.
Same. Oh,
Well,
by the
it
way,
all started.
may I interrupt? I do have a question though for you. You mentioned something about the Mayor Boyd being in contact with people from the smoke. Is that right?
Well, those are the words that I said, was it not? That the cult, the heart of the cult, is in the smoke, and that the reason why I think the mayor has inducted into it, as the others, is because the cult, this sapient society, needs something from the dredges.
Have you seen or heard any about any of them, like their identities or such?
No.
How did the mayor communicate with them?
Like I said, I am not a cult member. I run his extortion rackets and the like, but he does not speak to me about such things. I'm aware, I hear whispers. I don't know who the other cult members are spread across the dredges, but I know that they are there. And yes, this sapient society are powerful, influential people down in the smoke. So if you know any powerful, influential people in the smoke, either they know cult members or perhaps are cult members.
Now that is the interesting thing.
Tell me, you know, of course, of Maurice Hagen's involvement, I assume, in this group.
I was simply told to give him a safe place to hide low.
So you don't know about his conjuring of undead creatures?
No. It's
Pity.
sometimes better to not ask any questions when the mayor is concerned.
That's what concerns me about him. Yes, that's a shame. I was hoping to learn whether or not that was a cult of activity or a Hagen's special
I mean,
attention.
I'm perhaps giving too much information out here, but I mean, it occurs to me, sort of offering this as a sign of friendship between us and trust, that the mayor and this Hagen, they had no connections, as in, they are not part of his organization, and with him giving him a safe house to lie low in, there must be another connection. Quite possibly, maybe he is an acolyte of this cult or something like that. But he certainly isn't one of Boyd's boys.
No, indeed. We did find some evidence of Hagen's involvement in a cult.
It is probably the one and the same then.
Yes.
May I know, like, what was his last orders for you to execute on before we captured you?
Well, just
Any upcoming?
business as usual. There was no particular orders other than to maintain the business, ensure people in Hope pay their protection money, ensure that the bordello pays their fees, etc., etc.
So nothing weeks was planned for. This is unsettling.
We find Mayor Boyd
Well,
regularly.
at his estate, you were in his grounds, the back end of his estate where the safe house was. You basically, out of character, are aware that he's got an estate, and within that estate he's got a large mansion that has been built there, purposely built amongst Hope. It's just slightly outside of the town. And then he's got a large area of grounds. It's not a garden. It is kind of like forest where he hunts.
Okay.
Noted.
You know what we may encounter if we were to take him on head on?
It is difficult to say. He has obviously men that would protect him, Boyd's boys. But with him signed up to this cult, this sapient society, there is a mannerism about him, something. You may think
seems
that.
To be one,
I was going to
seems
say.
To be one to. Oh, sorry.
You may think that that friend of yours, the one that laughs in the strange way, is terrifying.
Say acquaintance, because I've only just met him.
All right. But the mayor, he has a manner about him, an intensity. There is a look in his eyes. He terrifies me.
Oh, but I would like to know though, like, does he have any particular special people on his employ? People of note, perhaps those with specific skills, other than you, if you are really special.
He owns the town. I don't know what you mean. He owns the town, the entirety of Hope.
Any notable people of specific skills that came into your mind that probably he has a special purpose for, or that he favors more than the others?
People such as yourself, perhaps.
Yes.
I cannot
Perhaps
say it.
places.
I cannot say it any plainer than I have. Are you not understanding? Do you not know my words? The entirety of Hope will, in effect, come to his defence if they are seen not to And if you do not overthrow him, and even if you do, some will still fight against you.
Some as in his loyalists, or perhaps there were others that wished to usurp his power? Is that what you meant?
No, no one wishes to usurp his power. Not within Hope itself. We are aware that the person that runs Paradise in reality has had a falling out with him. She is most definitely one that you probably wouldn't be able to call an ally, but certainly you could call an enemy of the mayor.
Interesting. Then again, I am new to this
Thanks.
place. So much things that I have yet to learn. Well, not learn. Investigate.
Methinks in this case the enemy of my enemy may be my friend.
Although we always should exercise caution at all times.
Oh, of course. Like
Real fast, while
it's-
this conversation is going on, and I'm outside, do I see or smell anything that could be dangerous to us?
You're keeping an eye out. Give me a
Yeah,
perception roll.
Yeah, I'm kind of just making like just a bit of a loop around.
Mhm.
Perception. Oh yay. Ah.
You don't see anything untoward. Seems to be perfectly safe. You see that DeFago is playing with the mother and the son. So back inside.
Yeah, I just wanted to do that real fast. I did not feel comfortable going this long without getting the check-in.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's hoping the leader of Paradise isn't as batshit as my Boyd in keeping exotic pets like mantles and chupacabras.
Oh, those are not pets. They are product.
Products.
Yes, to be shipped south to the smoke.
Ooh. And I assume who are the target customers?
Well, there are sort of different people. But there is one, what's his name now? Mr. Tweed, who he operates. He's the head of the Cheapside Sloggers, and he needs the cockatrice eggs because he's got a policy. It's a very interesting policy. It's called costing you an arm and a leg. Do you wish to know what that means?
Yes.
Right, so he breeds the eggs so that they hatch as cockatrice, and then he domesticates them, he trains them. Then if anyone crosses him, falls foul of him, what he does is he gets some of his lads to find a family member of the person that's done this, and he puts them in a fighting circle with a cockatrice. They fight. The cockatrice, their skills, they can petrify someone. You understand? Can turn them to stone. But the effect wears off after 24 hours.
It's a bit crude, but there's a certain
Oh, you haven't heard the
dignity
worst
in
of it. What he then does as they are turned to stone is he smashes the arm and the leg off them, knowing that when they become back to flesh and bone, they will be missing both. And then the person who's crossed him, they make watch for those 24 hours, watch their family member slowly but surely come back only to die, costing an arm and a leg.
I could say that's a very peculiar method to punish someone. But that's again.
Tis not meant as punishment, it's meant as deterrent. No one crosses Mr. Tweed. No one wants that to happen.
Preemptive revenge in the way. Feels like that. Arm and a leg.
So,
Interesting.
those creatures are designed to go down there for business purposes.
And I'm
Seems
assuming that
like
I assume that he paid a pretty penny for it, or like he bought like a lot, right, in the single batch usually, or
I don't know. Did you bring the eggs out? You seem to have stolen most of the money. But yes, they fetch a good amount of coin.
It's around this time that I'll kind of just make my way in, kind of quietly, and just stand by the door and just watch and listen.
Mm-hmm.
My very keen hearing heard some very interesting words, so I would like to keep an ear out for these next few words, if I may.
Mm-hmm. So she says each egg normally fetches about 50 gold.
and he buys. Usually bought like how many eggs in one go?
Well, however many we can have. I think there were 4 waiting for him.
Ooh, okay, so I want to know like how big the batches are usually and how frequent the shipments are.
Well, we get them when we can get them. Some of the lads go out into the woods and find them.
I see.
Why
or-
is this a new line of business that you want to take part in?
I just want to know about anyone from the smoke that were involved with, whatever dealing your mayor has.
I think she's told us as much as what she's going to tell us. I think I'd say we need to come up with a plan of action, maybe away from prying ears.
Well,
And that is Belinda.
yes, it's fine. I mean, I'm quite possibly dead already anyway. He's not going to like the fact that I let what happened happen. I can't go back to Hope. But
What if I have an idea? I'm still forming, but as much as I hate this, her living would actually benefit us for the time being. Give me a few more minutes to think of something. I'm from
We
the little
still
pieces
in-
I've picked up on the last few minutes. I have an idea
You
of a
change your
We're still
very
in Wintergrim's
powerful.
hut.
yep, you are
Okay.
indeed. So you can go
And David-
outside and talk if you want.
Then first of all, David's gonna grab a couple of cushions off of Wintergrim's sofa, walk over and just place it over her face, just to sort of hide her.
Whoa.
But I'll never find you now.
What are you doing?
I mean,
And I'll reach down to grab 2 daggers, and I'll just go. Shing!
what?
Let's see how this goes. I just look over at Dorvid, and I put a finger to my mouth with a massive smile on my face as I
Do
just
be careful
very
with whatever you're doing.
and I very quietly just try and sheath the daggers back down.
I didn't
Minnie's
mean
I
that.
I just give Dorvid this giant smile as I kind of think of what I can do with this moment of opportunity.
Where's Wintergreen, by the way? Minnie, I'm not looking for Wintergreen, but she's just glancing around to see where she. I mean, she's looking for Wintergreen, but not approaching him Just want to know where he is.
It's not a big place, and he's there, and he's watching every movement. He doesn't look best pleased.
See? Minnie's gonna talk to Jarvik. Jarvik, I think you should
Try
be
to hide
careful.
her.
I mean, but still, though, the host doesn't look like he's pleased, and you. I don't think it's a good idea to try to, do that
Minnie,
in
Minnie,
here.
for 5 seconds.
It's on you. If he hates you, it's on you.
Minnie, and I just kind of just go and sit down on the couch. I'm like, Minnie, you. Never mind.
What were you
That
going to
little bit of
say?
Well, I wanted with her being I don't know, surprised by this piece of action. I wanted to give her a bit of a scare, show her that
And
her
hit?
life. No, not and no. Oh no. This is gonna be a good idea. I have an idea, and I'm gonna grab the rest of these interesting individuals. Once Grim, if you could kindly please keep an eye on our guest. I'd like to discuss some things with my new associates here. And I'm just gonna try and push everybody except for Windsor Grim and what's her face out the door. So
Okay, so you try and draw people out. Do you follow Jorkle out?
Minnie was somewhat reluctant at first because she doesn't trust Belinda to not escape even with Wintergreen, but eventually she just relent and as she walked out, she's basically like at first glance back at Belinda just to make sure she's still there, then walk out. But still try to be alert in case she feels any movement from behind her.
I'm pretty sure there's only one entrance to this building, though, right?
There is.
So we'll
She-
see if she tries to leave.
She's not getting out of here. She's
Yeah.
bound. She's fine.
You never know.
As we go out, I will just whisper to Belinda, perhaps you should be looking for sanctuary in paradise or elsewhere yourself.
Well,
And then I'll
she whispers back, and if I survive this encounter, he's mad. You know that. And she just says that. She believes it. She's in a zone of truth.
I think, to be fair, the zone of truth has probably ended by now.
Okay, fair enough. She still says it.
No, that's fair enough. Pectinus sort of nods as he's walking through the doorway.
Okay.
as I get everybody out, I kind of draw the rest of our group in, and I go, all right. From whatever I've been hearing, we have two options. One, do we have these cockatrice eggs? I heard something
No.
about cockatrice eggs.
I don't think anyone picked them up. They seemed like a foolish risk to be carrying around.
Okay, that kind of dampers my plan. Still work with this. What if we go back to that area, we gather the eggs again, we take them to Mr. Tweed, and we explain our proposition to him. We get him as an ally, and then we begin. And then, because of my reasons, I want to go after the Mayor Boyd. But that's just my plan. We go in there saying that we have his delivery, and that we're new delivery because of recent revolts due to some distraught individuals, and that we've come to discuss better finance and protection terms. Once there, and once we can get him at least somewhat alone, we can reveal our true plan. My plan, at least, is to kill Mayor Boyd and make off like the wind. But we can cross that bridge when we get there. What do you guys think of this plan? Because I see a massive gain of opportunity here. And I just take a look at the rest of them.
Is Mr. Tweed in the dredges?
No,
Or was
he's
he in the smoke?
He's in the smoke.
he's in the
That's a
smoke.
problem.
That's that's not a bad idea, Mr. Jokel, sir. But Mr. Tweed resides in the smoke.
About 3, maybe 4 weeks travel.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that is very
Oh.
far.
Mm.
All the more reason why I
Well.
can't return back now. I mean, not that I really need to.
Well, I have another idea. What if we get her to sign documents? Because remember, this woman, though I hate her, is a very high-ranking member of the mayor's personnel.
Not
We
high
get
enough to know his cult.
Yeah.
well, but she has access to his finances. Think about that. Even if it's only a small portion of it, if we can get some of that, we can pay off some of the other members of this cult gang or whatever, and we can have them not follow the mayor anymore. There's so many opportunities here. I needed her to be unsure and uncertain. That's why I was ranting and raving. Besides, everything I said was the truth. Well, I get answers. All right. I want to figure out this man's deal just as much as anybody else. I want to get revenge on him because of what he's done to me and my family. But I'm willing to put that off if you guys have a better idea. Or if you guys would like to answer my idea. And I kind of just
That
give
idea
2
is a
hands up.
little bit too complicated, and like there's too many factors that you have to rely on. For example, like even if you manage to do that, like would they actually suspect that it's a real thing? Especially the fact that we are like, this is the problem is also we need to find a good forger and stuff like that. Oh
We
yeah,
don't
wait.
need a forger. We don't
We,
need a forger.
I mean, but do you
The
trust her to not
the
hide
honest
stuff?
documentation is right there.
Well, do you completely trust her that she wouldn't try to hide messages in the documents she signed and stuff?
Mm.
Do you trust that? Like,
Whoever
how
said that
far
she'd be
you've
writing
gone?
the document? Whoever said that she'd be writing the document?
I
All we need
mean,
her to do is sign. Listen, there are lots of ideas I have, but none of them are certain unless you guys are on board with it. Because if not, we'll just throw that out the window, and I'll just follow what you guys are doing. Because I still owe you guys a big deal for getting me out of there. Any longer in there, and I bet the mayor would have killed me outright. Whew.
Yeah,
so
we've
we're
established Mayor Boyd is a utter scumbag.
Yes.
Um,
He's also
oh,
a serial murderer, but yes,
yeah,
understandable.
we're basically
Boyd.
trying to turn away his people from him, right? By forging whatever orders he issued.
Yes, but it'd be so much easier, say, if somebody close to him was to hand very important documentation over to these major members, get them to say, I don't know, to get authentic proof of this, say in a I don't know, the right hand man of Mayor Boyd, if she's that. I don't know. All I know is that she's a torturer.
I mean,
And apparently a very high ranking one.
that's only assuming that you know how would they react. Like, what if they suspect something's going? Even with the signature and all that. I mean, you should be careful with the movements, though. Like, with the orders you shoot. Like, wouldn't they suspect that something is up?
I
I
don't
think
think
you're
that
ascribing a little too much to her being fully on our side.
I don't need her to be on our side. I just need her signature. And that's all I really need.
I'm more concerned about this cult personally, but I don't know how we go about dealing with them. So I'm open to ideas.
I think the best or at least decent plan of action for us going forward would be to head over to Paradise and
I agree.
see what see what they have to say. See if they could offer any help in dethroning Mayor Boyd.
All right then.
And we should make sure that our friends are properly housed first as well.
For sure.
That would be.
I think they'll be safe.
Yeah.
But
I think they'll
yes,
be safer in paradise than they will be in Hope.
I think we're going to set them up in this cabin. Wintergrim seems to think it will be a very ideal setup for them.
Well, that'll be all right then. Mr. Wintergrim wouldn't mind checking in on them every once in a while.
Making
Yes,
them
and-
feel like at home. You know, I am starting to like this gentleman. He is quite nice. Maybe a bit stern.
Is that Mr. Wintergrim?
Oh yes, Mr. Wintergrim. He has been a very kind host. Very understanding.
You tried his nuts?
Oh, I tried a single nut, but yes, that sounded a bit weird. I'm not gonna skid around the facts.
I'll give Joe a call. Yeah, Wintergrim's not that I've got.
Yeah, you can do that. Or do you want to pass it across into the inventory sheet? I think
Yeah, I can do.
if you're going to pass it across, it's actually an item.
Okay.
Oh,
So you drag the shield across to the party sheet.
Right. Shield.
And there you
Yeah.
go. So you can drag that across to your inventory journal.
mm-hmm.
So you open up your
Yeah, I got that.
inventory sheet, you grab the shield.
What's a shield?
The little circular button with the silver dot in the middle. If you open up the
I
party
got
sheet,
that.
you drag it and you just drop it into your inventory.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, I got it.
So the question is, what are you going to do?
I'm not sure if the plan can actually work because, involving with so much, there's still like the first the problem. Like, we have to be sure whether they will actually do the orders or not. I'm still don't trust that plan. It's a bit too risky.
Hey, I'm just giving ideas.
I mean, to be honest, I think it's still better than your cockatrice plan, though, because from what I know, I don't think that Mr. Tweet is actually that interested with the dredges. If from what I know about people in the smoke, they like to have power where they are now. They don't have to really concern on the north except for that cult, but that's a different matter. Like, and most of them already have an established position there, which is like, that has the status quo, so they just enjoy it. Don't have to worry about getting more.
Well, who knows? I, for one, and I stretch a bit, am ready to get moving on. Though this place is very nice, it is a bit colder, in my opinion.
And we take Belinda along with us,
Yes.
or do we just release, or do we, put her out of misery? Oh wait, you want her to be still alive?
I think we should leave her in the care of Wintergrim.
yes, I was going to
Are
suggest the
you
same thing.
sure? I mean, you don't realize that what happens if she managed to escape. I mean, although then again, she probably not gonna last long if Boyd's man actually, is after her.
You
But still,
severely underestimate the power of Archfey like Wintergrim.
I'm sorry, a
She-
what? I
Oh,
kind of just spin the door of it and just go, a what?
Minnie is going to give that interested, like, oh, what? Oh,
You see Jorkal just get very nervous.
Minnie
Yeah.
looks going to be really interested now because he just mentioned something she hadn't heard.
Oh,
Or-
the old forest spirits like Wintergrim. He's shown us great kindness because we've been respectful of his abode. But doubtless, if anyone to take advantage or disrespects it, he'd surely make them pay.
Hmm.
Not make them pay. Everybody will just get what they truly deserve. And he smiles. His nose twitches a little.
Oh, always. Well, that honestly has made me a little less worried.
Is he outside then, Andy, now?
Yeah, he's kind of come outside. He's got a small bundle which he kind of passes to you, DeFago. This is just in case. The cabin that I said might have some restless spirits from the forest. These incense will help calm them and help you deal with them should you need to. I'm sure it is nothing that you need to worry about, and I'm sure that everyone will get just what they deserve. And he smiles again.
Lovely.
Hell yeah.
I'll be
Well,
looking after your friend in here.
Associate.
yeah, I will.
I
I'll come
wouldn't
and
say.
check on her bonds before we leave. But if everyone is ready to set off, do you want to gather your things?
Yeah. As everybody is like gathering their things, I kind of want to ask Wintergrim if we could step out into a secluded spot so I can ask him a couple questions before we leave.
This is my home. We have no secrets here.
Well, some things are more for private conversations.
Not in my
At
home.
least I just very well. And once again, the blade will come out, and I'll hold the hilt toward Wintergrim, and I'll ask him just a simple question: do you know what's in this sword?
There is something that words cannot describe. Something that should not be. Something that falls between both light and dark. There aren't words to describe what I sense from this.
Okay, hold on. I gotta do something fast. Oof. Who can see my eyes at this point?
I'm guessing everybody. He's just in there as people are packing up.
So, if anybody wants, they can make a perception check
Me.
to see what happens.
Minnie is always alert.
Okay, so Minnie makes one.
Is that okay, Andy?
Yeah. Anybody who wants to can do.
Okay, so Minnie passes it.
Perception, you say?
There we go,
Yes.
Miss Blackthorn. That is a picture of Wintergrim.
Oh, jeez. Actinus makes it. Dorvid sadly does not make it. So, Wintergrim, Minnie, and Pectinus see is you see me tense, and what looks like my right arm, which holds the blade, kind of tense. And Wintergrim himself, and I guess Minnie with her perception, will see once again my eyes invert, and I'll take the blade and it'll pop back out. And a single word, don't, will utter. I'll take 2 steps back and then I'll fall right on my bum as my eyes will invert again. And I'll just, oh no, not again.
Oh, Min is going to take interest in that. Like she just notices that apparently something had happened.
Did I roll a medicine check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can DeFago roll his eyes?
Yep. So David, yeah, you're not sure really. Something has happened. Probably closest that you can get, but it's not very clear, as some kind of maybe possession or riding by some kind of spirit.
Min is going to try to do an Arcana check with her limited magic knowledge because she suspects that this is not something medical in nature, something else. She will try to gain from what she remembered from her training. I mean, it's not much, but so therefore, I will try to. Can I use my Arcana to check?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana roll.
Haven't. Can I?
Yes, make an Arcana roll. Nope. You are about the same as David, really. At this point, Wintergrim looks at you all and says, "It is time for you to go." And that is where we will leave it for tonight. To be continued in 2 weeks. Thank you very much, everybody. Quite a nice role play, intense session there. Very good. Some real plot came out tonight, which is really good. So we will see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much. Thank you in chat. Really appreciate all your comments, and we shall see you all soon. Take care, everybody.